The Clips is, man, one of the best duos ever. And we gonna show it and prove it.
Sure.
And
We are at the cusp of a period in hip-hop history that hasn't occurred since the days of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy or The Blueprint, where luminaries launch bombs instead of just bars. The Kendrick Lamar era already seems to be a genre reset. But what's coming up next? Oh, it's bigger than just Kendrick. You're looking at the beginning of a full-fledged rap revolution tonight. Yes, tonight Kendrick Lamar is putting together the infinity stones of lyrical greatness. Not just standing alone. Jay-Z. If you're not excited yet, it's likely that you've been asleep since Not Like Us. So hit the like button as if it owes you royalties, because what we're going to dissect is hip-hop history before it's even happened. Push. A Nas, Malice, and fell behind the boards like Nick Fury with a mixing console. Let's establish the scene. For months, the Whisperers have been expanding. A fresh endeavor. Rap standards are back, clips are back, and there's only one name that connects it all. The lyrical ghost that plagued Drake's career like a diss track. Poltergeist is back, and he's bringing the family with him. Pusha T, yes, the push. Malice has returned. Pharrell is tying the beats together. And somewhere in the background, Kendrick Lamar is crafting a verse that will send shivers down the spine of the genre. However, this isn't just a nostalgic reunion tour. Rather, it's strategic warfare, as Kendrick was recruiting generals for something else entirely while Drake was out there hurling subs at Fell wearing mocking jackets and jewelry. This isn't beef. This is artillery. And you see, Kendrick isn't just destroying the current rap scene on his own. He's creating a new, better one. And it begins with this album. We're talking Avengers-level cooperation here. Perhaps the most strategically and spiritually charged endeavor we've seen since GNX dominated the Billboard charts. Jay-Z Kendrick. Push, A.T. Malice. Nas Vorel all on one album isn't a list of songs. Rather, it's a lineup of rap assassins. And while Drake fans are already freaking out in group chats all over the world, the truth is that this isn't about Drake. Rather, it's about what hip-hop could be if its legends finally stopped holding back. Push knows what he's doing. He's curating a moment, and every feature, producer, and verse is drawing a line in the sand. This is the rebirth of true hip-hop and the end of that clownish, performative, hit-chasing nonsense that we've all put up with for far too long. The only question is, who's ready for the smoke? Let's not fool ourselves. Push doesn't just release albums, he also releases missions. And this one is particularly amazing because it's not just the eagerly anticipated reunion of the Clips, it's a declaration of war and the targets. Pusha is bringing Malice out of retirement, not for nostalgia's sake, but rather to remind the world what lyricism sounds like when it comes from two brothers who were built on precision, pain, and power. Additionally, Pharrell isn't just producing beats. He's sculpting the scenery. This isn't just music, it's architecture. But wait, T. Just when the foundationation's laid, Kendrick walks in. Remember when Push teased he was waiting? In one more verse. That verse was Kendrick's then. Kendrick didn't just send Ori in. He showed up in person on tour with Push backstage at the GNX Stadium show like some rap samurai, handing over the finals award. Let that sink in. Pusha followed Kendrick to Gillette Stadium just to lock in that last piece that's not casual, that's ceremonial. This isn't two rappers linking up, it's two war generals, confirming the blueprint before launching invasion. Scion AIs, this is where things really take a turn because you thought Kendrick and Push were enough now. Jay-Z steps in. Oh yeah, not as a distant elder blessing the project you tweet but player coach A behind-the-scenes godfather, making sure everything hits the way it should. Jay was the one who cleared the Super Bowl stage for Kajaic. Jay was the one who quietly inked the deal that brought Crowlout's role under Rock Nation. Now he's stepping into the ring himself. You know, Jay doesn't just hop on verses anymore. Not unless he's got something real to say, something personal, something that's going to have Twitter frozen mid-scroll. He's been quiet since that. legendary verse on DJ Khaled's 2022 album M. You remember the one that was way too good for the album? It was on? Yeah. He's due. And now he's got old reasons. Beefs, scritics, itics, indisnakes, nakes, and a throne that's been getting way too comfortable lately till he imagined Kendrick, Pusha T and Jay on one track competing complimenting. Combusting, there's no feature on that song that's a historic footnote in real time. And if that wasn't already wild enough, there's a rumor swirling that Nas is involved too. That's right. The GOAT of Queensbridge may be pulling up to this exact party. If that happens, we're not getting a rap record. We're getting a museum exhibit. One track from this thing might contain more raw skill than the entire Spotify Rap Caviar playlist combined. And guess what? That's the point. This isn't music for algorithms. This is music for immortality. So go ahead, tap that like button, like it's the Illuminati button under Rock Nation. HQ, hit subscribe before this project melts the internet, because we're only halfway through the story. You feel that unease in the rap world. That's not coincidence. That's fear, because this album, this moment, isn't just bringing legends together. It's exposing the split in hip-hop for what it really is on one side. Kendrick, Push, J, Nas, Mal, 4L, Rel on the Uthwell. L, let's just say it's the land crashes. Eshia's Crybabies and Clout Chasers' Kendrick's disc didn't just rattle Drake's fanbase, it shook the foundations of the genre. It forced every rapper with a mic to ask, am I actually pushing the culture forward or just floating? And now that crack has split into two clear houses. One that fights for the art, and one that sells its soul for streams. On this upcoming Clips album isn't a project. It's a manifesto, a lyrical declaration that says, if you notre haute elevating the game, me get the hell out the way. Of course, the minute people see Kendrick and Push on the same track, throw in Jay and Nas, the Drake stans, are going to yell collusion and claim that this is just another obsession and that a supergroup is forming just to bring down one man. But, let's face it, Drake brought this upon himself. He was making fun of Pharrell for his jewelry and still throwing subs at Push after getting bodied in 2018. He was making fun of legends for years as if it were all fun and games until Kendrick said, nah, we're not doing that anymore. Pusha has already won, so he doesn't need to go into full disc mode again, but have faith that he has lines coming. Icy cold bars. Surgical onliners are the type of verses that chronicle your demise rather than merely diss, and this time, it goes beyond Drake's Push. T's animosity dates back to the Birdman period, when Cash Money burned Pharrell. Retaliation is the theme of this album. The best part is that they're not even attempting to be subtle about it. They're naming names, using verses to split the rap game in two, and putting it all on one album. It's long-form closure for 2 decades of disrespect. And Kendrick has his own receipts. He's been maintaining the integrity of the genre by himself, and now he's done waiting for other artists to figure it out and is bringing the real ones together to remind the world what greatness actually sounds like. Make it T. Kendrick, Jay-Z and Nas Malice fell. This record is more than simply bars. It's a power move. That's not a dream team. It's a declaration of independence. Consider why you believe Jay-Z became involved at this level. Jay is not merely expressing affection. He is planning and wagering on the genre's future. He is also opposing the streaming-friendly TikTok bait vibe and substance rap, which has been dominating the charts for too long. Rock. Jay wanted control over how this project drops, moves, and lands, which tells you everything you need to know about the stakes. When the man who made Takeover puts his all into an album like this, you can be sure that something is about to be taken over. Now, let's talk legacy. Nation didn't just sign the Clips album for distribution because it sounded cool. On that bloated DJ Khaled project, Jay had his last genuine mic moment, and even then he rapped as though he had something to prove. Now, he has Kendrick. We're talking about a 5-minute verse that destroys the industry, the betrayal, the false kings, and the fools still taking shots at the throne. You remember how Jay addressed Dame Dash without mentioning his name? Now imagine him doing that and naming names, which is what this record threatens to do, and the ripple effect has already begun. Push and Nas sharing the booth, Jay isn't just going to show up, he's going to go full God mode. Push was the architect. He's been working toward this for years, first with Kanye and then alone. He's always improving and sharpening the edge. His last album, It's Almost Dry, wasn't just fantastic. It was his first #1 album over 20 years into the game. Who else is doing that? It's not luck, it's calculation. Push keeps improving because he's one of the few who still cares. This upcoming Clips project won't just continue that streak. It might redefine it because it's not just about Push proving that he's elite. It's about demonstrating that hip-hop as a whole has become soft and lazy. The album's goal is to frighten people. The true danger when Kendrick performs is not because it is loud or violent, but rather because it is unquestionably great. Let's paint the whole picture here because Pusha J and Nas Lockin are not only rapping, they are also judging, and all other artists in the genre are going to receive grades. Pusha T is building monuments in addition to pursuing streams. Consider the lineup once more. Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, Nas hatred. They are not just dropping verses, they are recording history, and if you have been surviving on mediocrity, you are going to be immortalized as an example of what not to be. What's even more bizarre is that each of them has nothing to prove and everything to say, which is what makes this terrifying for everyone else in rap right now. This CD could be the true representation of what you attempted to be, but we don't trust it. Just a few weeks after Future and Metro Boomin attempted to declare war on Drake, they withdrew their declaration with a follow-up album that sounded like a peace treaty that isn't taking place here. Kendrick is not recoiling, pushing, or apologizing to Jay, nor is he using PR to patch things up. Everyone concerned is saying, "You're either with us or you're part of the problem." And this is the line in the sand. To be honest, Kendrick probably thinks, nah, stand on some, when he sees artists like Future attempting to have it both ways. For Kendrick, this is a layup and a legacy. He has been leading the culture forward by sheer willpower. And now he is joining the other generals of the genre to say, we don't need the fake kings anymore. We are the royalty. This record is about standing tall with people who still write like it's life or death, about surrounding yourself with the kind of MCs who would rather be feared than streamed. Therefore, when Push gets in that booth, he is doing more than just rapping. He is choreographing chaos. Every feature is strategic, every beat is deliberate, and every line is meant to echo. What makes this moment so frightening for everyone else in the industry is that Kendrick isn't just coming in for a guest verse. He's coming in to create another verse of the year contender, possibly two. Maybe the kind of verses that make group chats go crazy at midnight. It's not just what this album might say, it's what it might mean. This is more than simply a rap album. It's the hip-hop equivalent of Mount Rushmore. Let's take a sledgehammer and carve a new one and run it again. Encourage Kendrick. J. Nas Malice Fell could have been even more shocked by the roster. You don't just have artists like this on your album, you call them in. This album isn't about selling, it's about bringing order back to the world. No AI hooks, no ghostwriters, no vibe initially, which translates to later mumble fests, featuring only rappers who have proven themselves over the years and are now prepared to remind everyone that the craft is more important than the chart. Kendrick stands beside the very people he grew up learning from, now as a peer and an equal rather than as a pupil. It's Nas demonstrating once more that wisdom and bars ripen like great wine, and that not a single verse will be mailed, and it's Jay-Z showing out again. Not to boost his ego, but to defend the home he helped build. In It's Malice coming back, not for money or fame, but because this moment, it needs his voice and push. He's the architect, the foreman, the visionary that pulled it all together. If you think this is just about music, you miss the point. This is about legacy. This is about a statement that will split the genre in half. Those who stand with substance and those who chase streams, the ones who built the culture and the ones trying to rent it, and you better believe that when this album drops, there will be casualties, not in the form of name drops or Twitter rants, but in sheer performance when these verses start landing. when these beats hit, when the smoke clears, a whole lot of rappers are going to wake up to find they've been eclipsed overnight. And that's the thing Push doesn't miss from the early Clips days to Go Music, from Runaway to It's Almost Dry. Every era of his career has brought evolution. He gets sharper, colder, more surgical, and now, with the ultimate roster and the ultimate producers behind him, Push is prepared to release the rap album of the decade. Mark these words. This isn't just a musical moment. It's the moment. And when it hits, every rapper who relies on antics rather than artistry will hear the door slam shut. Let's face it, the concept of this album is frightening enough without it ever being released, which is why rappers are sweating profusely, because it's a funeral march for mediocrity rather than just a lyrical flex. Push has always been able to create timeless music. But this time, he's not just rapping for the sake of replay value. Instead, he's creating legacy currency, which is why the culture will be auditing every verse, every feature, and every delicate bar. When this drops and those verses from Jay-Z, Kendrick Malice, and Pusha begin to circulate like holy scripture, everything else will sound like rap background noise. You don't think Drake will ignore this? Of course not. Labels are already freaking out, wondering if their artists are going to be lyrically destroyed by verses from 3 guys over 40. If you're a true fan of the pen game, this is the moment you've been waiting for. This is what it looks like when everyone stops playing nice, stops dumbing it down, and starts rapping like the mic actually matters again. This project is going to hit the timeline like an asteroid. It won't trend. It will completely upend the genre. So buckle up, because we're about to witness the pinnacle of hip-hop, not just in terms of talent, but also in terms of intent. Pusha didn't gather these legends for clout. Instead, he brought them together to set a new standard, and they all answered the call. This album is going to shake people's egos, make rap exciting again, and, most importantly, clean house. If you haven't already hit the like button, like Kendrick hit that stage at GNX, subscribe like Push smashed. Every feature in his last 3 albums is free and quick, and tells the algorithm that you're not here for the mid, because real rap is back, and Push brought the flamethrower. What comes next? What if this is just phase 1? What if this record has a cascading effect? Jay has more in the vault than Kendrick does, and he's maturing like a lyricist. Pusha and Benjamin Button Push is only getting warmed up. This might mark the start of a brand new golden age, and Drake. We'll be watching closely, so you might want to put Kaizen on speed dial once more, because after this album, he's going to need more than just assistance. He's going to need a miracle. Now, go ahead and predict in the comments who will give the most bizarre verse on this album. We haven't even anticipated Kendrick J, so if you're still interested in learning more about him, don't miss our analysis of how he silenced Joey Badass and blew up the Drake feud from the inside out. We promise you'll want to see what actually happened before this bomb goes off. I'll see you there.